Hey guys, let me know what you think by liking and commenting, and it really helps me and this channel out when you subscribe, so please click that button. Thanks a bunch. Alright everyone, today's episode is brought to you by Super Smooth Hobby Lubricants. Super Smooth Hobby Lubricants are 100% synthetic, and they come in medium oil versions, light oil, and PTFE or Teflon grease in this handy tube. These are very recent and modern formulations. The company that actually manufactures the oil and grease for Super Smooth is a very, very well-known company, and Super Smooth worked with their chemists to make sure that these would fulfill the needs of modern hobbyists. These formulas are specifically designed not to gum up, and they're designed also not to attract any kind of grease or dirt or dust. So remember Super Smooth. It's slicker than smooth. All right, everybody, up first today is this Rivarossi HM nickel plate Berkshire. It's in the box, but there's no other packaging. Let's make sure it's the original box. It is the original box. Just no, I guess the person's like, we'll keep the box, but not any of the internals, because goodness knows, why do you need that when you've got a perfectly good box to protect the steam locomotive? But fair enough, beggars can't be choosers. And I got this for a pretty nice price, I think. So let's take a look at it. You can see the underside. All these are pretty much the same. One side of the electrical pickup is handled by the tender, and it's transmitted through that little wire. Let's take a look. It's kind of nice. It's kind of a nice looking thing. Look at that. Safety first. I agree. So let's spin her around here. Looks like they've got at least some paint where the builder's plate would be. Very, very nice. You know what? I mean, kind of love or hate these. I mean, from a distance, they look fine. There's, a lot of premium models, that piping and stuff they would all be individually placed. And these ones, of course, they're molded into the body. But I think they look really good running down the road. And frankly, I don't know if these things are prototypical in any way. I doubt they are. They may be for one particular road, but then they just simply copied that. Let's see, let's see a smoke unit in there. So let's kind of walk back through here. Very nice. Very nice. I like it. To be honest with you, I like it. I think it'll look good. Now, it is possible to DCC convert these without a whole lot of issues, although they're not very powerful. That's one really bad thing about these. They just have really weak motors in them. They don't pull very much. And just sort of noticed, it almost looks like this is a separately applied decal. You can see the ridges here in between the plastic body and them, but I don't know. It's possible that they're factory applied decals because they look better than what your average modeler would do. Yeah, they're definitely decals. Look at the 759, but it's factory, so it would be hard for me to believe that someone would have taken off the originals and put these on. Maybe that's just the way they did it for these runs. Instead of using any kind of templated paint, let's see, it looks like there's something that was, I see what's going on here. It's just kind of out of place. Gotcha. All right, but so about that, I don't know. If anyone knows more about Rivarossi, HMIHC history, that'd be great. Oh, look, the little reflector is green. Is that typical from these? I don't know. I'm just not an expert enough on these to know. Let's see. Well, the wheels look really clean, don't they? They look really, really clean. Just not sure if this was even used, or if it was it used very much? Let's take a look at the tender again. Take a look at the wheel. Those are, they show somewhere, right? But not a whole lot. Yeah, somewhere, and especially you can see the discoloration on the wheels on the two that are picking up electricity. So they're arcing a little bit, and that's what's causing that discoloration. But overall, there's where that came out. It's ladder off the front. I'll have to go and, sure enough, I'll go and replace that later. Hopefully it just snaps in there, and it just unsnapped itself. So we'll put this on there, and let's see about getting it on. Yeah, there we go. Takes a little dexterity here, especially through the camera. It's kind of hard for me to see everything, so let's plop her down on the track. And let's see what we get out of this. I'm very curious. Very, very curious. All right, come on. Yeah, come on. Get on there. You can do it. Okay. Is it on there? Okay, whoops. Everything's still unplugged. Give me a second here. Okay, some very minor stiction. Not surprising. Who knows how long this has been run? In fact, didn't even look like it was run much back in the day. So I think just some running out will help get this thing where it needs to be. It looks nice. I really like it. Let's see. We get this. There you go. Come on. Loosen you up just a little bit, and that'll help you get into finer running shape. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay, I think this is going to be absolutely fine, particularly if I run it a little bit more. It'll loosen everything up, and I'll do some really light oiling, and I think got ourselves a nice model to work with. Look at that. Looks good. It's a really good looking model. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, I mean, if it's cheap, inexpensive model, certainly wasn't top of the line back in the day, but I can understand why people like these. I think they actually look pretty nice. It's give you a kind of nice scan down the side here. What do you think? These Berkshires, yeah, would this be something you could get if you could? I know there's still a fair amount of demand. Well, either way, I hope you like this one, and let's move on to the next. Okay, let's look at this die-cast, heavy die-cast Mantua Pacific, Baltimore and Ohio. This is actually the second one of these I have, but the other one I have is the Royal Blue from the collector set. So it's slightly different, but it's the exact same locomotive from what I can tell. But it's always nice to have two of these. Let's take a look at them. I've always appreciated these Mantuas. Again, same thing. They're obviously weren't going for uber detail. No, boy, look at the molding line down the center. It looks like there's no smoke unit. That's just the screw to attach the boiler. But again, if you're on a budget and this is what you could afford, they didn't look bad, especially from 3 feet plus. Let's see, there's very minimal details here. And I think that's something that's being forgot with manufacturers today, is there is a group of modelers, and in fact, it may be a very, very large group that is okay with lower price items, just so as long as they run. And I think, I'll talk about this in another video, but the hobby has turned into is basically aimed more towards collectors now, or people who can afford collector prices. Anyway, back to this. Let's take a look. Everything looks pretty nice. Motor looks nice. In fact, boy, these are in great shape. These wheels are in excellent shape. Again, doesn't look like this was run very much. Looks like it has a little bit of run time, but not. It's one of those things where they bought it and wanted to look at it, I guess, and just didn't do a whole lot with it. It's kind of all I can think here. Let's kind of put it on the track and see what we get out of this after we pump some power into it. So, oh, sorry, Susie. Mascot Susie here is down. Okay, let's give this a go. Okay, there's some to be expected stiction. I don't think this is going to be very bad though. We'll just use some super smooth, which is it's been a really good oil, really good oil. I mean, I do a lot of these, and I've done a lot, and I'm just now filming these so that you can see me work on them. So we'll just go through here and do all of these, and we'll see how much better it gets. And we'll put some Teflon grease here on the main gear, and hopefully that'll help. That'll go back up into the worm gear also. So I think if we put this back down on the track, let's take a look. I think we're good to go there. Plop this back down, and I think we'll have a much better runner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down on rollers so that it will be a lot easier to work all this lubrication in. Okay, you heard how that thing got faster and faster as it started to work the lubricant in, so I think we're in really good shape here. I think this is going to be a really good runner, and we'll run it backwards so we can sort of do double duty with this lubricant here. Boy, this is going to be a really nice runner. Let's get a side view of this. I think you'll see, yeah, that's part of the reason we like steam engines, right, is just how beautiful everything looks when it's running, and this certainly has that in spades. Very, very nice. Looks like it's missing a couple parts maybe from the side of the boiler, but no matter. It looks great. It's running nice. Okay, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's back it up. I don't even have to tap on it anymore. It's running super smooth. It's running great. So, excellent. All right, let me get on to the next one. All right, if this looks a little bit familiar to you, at least in terms of its form factor and its wheel arrangements, because we've already seen one of these. It's another AHM/Rivarossi Berkshire. This one is a little bit different though, and I think it was to commemorate the Golden Spike Centennial. It was a limited run, and from what I've seen, you can get these in Rivarossi and AHM flavors, but not only that, they offered them individually. So there's passenger cars that go along with this, and they offered them in both a set and individually. So I've never seen the original box except in photographs, but if you go look into this, it's a bit of an interesting history. So if you look, everything is pretty much exactly the same as the prior video. Let's kind of spin it around here. It looks great. Again, I don't have a lot of complaints about the way these look. I think they look nice, especially from a 3-foot plus test. I actually have a few Rivarossi/AHM steam engines, and I always like the way they look. My big complaint about them is the severe lack of pulling power. And it's funny, a lot of times for these, they'll make a lot of cars for them, but you won't be able to actually pull them. So it's sort of strange. They make the cars, they sell you the cars, but you can't actually pull all of the cars at once unless you're willing to double head or something like that. And I have a conundrum right now where I do have a set that's being pulled by one of these made by Rivarossi, but of course it just won't actually pull it, so I'm not quite sure what to do. Put in a diesel helper maybe. Okay, let's take a look at the tender. And again, this was repainted, I think, 1969 is when this actually ran, something like that. It made like an East Coast to Promontory Point trip. And then I'm not sure what they did after that. So if we look, it's in pretty nice shape. And again, if 759, I'm pretty sure this was the same locomotive as that nickel plate that came up earlier. So, and then I guess they also made a GG1 in this livery, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay. Well, everything looks nice. Again, it just doesn't look like it was really run all that much. Let's plop her down on the track and see what we get out of this. Let's get her on there. Front, middle, rear, tender. There we go. I think we're okay. So what I think is actually happening here is that there is a not so great tender connection. So there may be some gunk on the tender. I guess it's whatever the kingpin or whatever the post is. Maybe some on that, and may not be making great connection with this little wire here. Just that's what it feels like. I have to kind of move the tender around before it'll really engage, and I think that's what's happening here. It's actually doesn't have anything else to do with the motor, and I think as soon as I can get a good connection, let me kind of put this in so that the wire's got some tension against it. If I do it that way, I think we'll be in a little bit better shape. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this up on rollers, and we'll see what we get out of it. It'll be a lot easier for me to work with when it is up and stationary. Let's get this on there. Come on. Come on. Let's get this spaced out. All right, there we go. All right, let me put some penetrating oil into the bearing here on the main shaft, and maybe that'll help just a little bit. Okay, that actually did seem to help. So excellent. I think we've got another good runner here. All right, so let's see. I've looks like it's still it just looks like it's having some problems either transferring power. Maybe there is a little stiction here that's kind of holding this up. But just from the way it's acting, I just think that drawbar connection is just a little bit problematic. Whoa!
Bruh.
Oh, dang!
Whoops. Sorry about that. All right, let's think it's better now. Try to put that back up there, and I think it's running pretty darn well. So, doggone it. Well, I think it's running well enough. I think as this runs out, it'll start running better. So I think we're in good shape. And also, my track here is fairly dirty because I do a lot of work like this on here, and a lot of oil gets on it, and a lot of stuff that's just got a lot of carbon buildup and it's sparking a lot. So I think this thing's going to be okay in the end. Okay, I know there were only 2 steam locomotives in the photo, but actually there are 3, and so I hope you didn't mind the surprise. I decided to keep these around 20 minutes, and I think I've accomplished that today, and I appreciate you watching. I hope you liked seeing me go through this. I have to go through this anyway when I get locomotives. I have to test them out, so I hope you enjoyed that. And, if you had any of these or you have any comments, I really want to hear, I try to interact with literally everybody who comments because I appreciate it so much. I really appreciate you watching. Starting these videos was something I decided I didn't ever think I was going to do, but then I realized people were getting something out of this, and in turn, those conversations that started from those helped me get even more out of this hobby. So thanks a bunch for watching. I appreciate it, and please like and comment, and if you really want to help me out, subscribe and hit that notification. So until next time, I'll have more of these for you. Take care. Talk to you later. Happy model railroading. See ya.